Hey, hello there. Can you count the hairs on my chinny chin chin with this? With this? Use your words, Pierre. Use them big, big words. Can you count the hairs on my chinny chin chin on this display? It looks like it's a very sharp camera, this iPad device I'm using. Well, in my house in Boston, sunlight it it rises at a very acute little angle, or whatever the word I want is, so that I really don't, it doesn't come in. I could stand right next to the window and stick my face right up next to the window, and maybe I would be lit, but it doesn't come in. This one is coming almost straight in, perpendicular to the house right now. So, and then when it sets, it's over there, perpendicular. So the light comes from both sides. So I did finally connect the Wacom tablet to my brother's computer. My other brother, who is a photographer by profession, was able to have CS, whatever it is, the cloud, the new one, on two computers. And one, the one he has at his house, is the one that's only on one computer there. So I'm able to sign in using his login. The thing is, when he needs to use Photoshop on his computer, he'll call me up and he'll say, I need, stop, save your thing and close it down so he can use it. New Saxon seals. Well, as you know, I hate snorkels. And as you know, I probably never bothered to fix that because of the price sticker that was on it. So it remained unhindered. It was probably in my collection, but I don't, it probably was, but I didn't need to have it. So I have a legitimate Adobe Edge going on. Now, legitimate Illustrator Edge, I think I'm able to, if need be, rent or upgrade Troy's account to use Illustrator if I need to. Now, the issue with the brand new Photoshop is it has way more bells and whistles to just open a fucking document. You've got to, it's like doing your taxes, all these buttons you have to press. Do you want to save it here? Do you think you want it there? Do you want it over here? Do you want it as part of your workflow? Just let me open a fucking document. God, Jesus Christ. No. Okay, cool. Have you yet tried that Schaefer nib and that senior Schaefer? It's impossible. My brother, he says he uses the crop tool all the time. And he says, I hate the new Photoshop because it makes you, you have to do all these, what sort of crop do you want? And I said, I've never ever used the crop tool, though I crop all the time. I just use the select tool and then say crop. And I showed that to Troy, the Photoshop expert and the photographer. And he said, oh my God, that's so easy. Thank you. I mean, it's my back way of getting into something. Yeah, it's really, I mean, that was on its way to being kept in my collection, that nib. I realize the pen is funky, but I kept it all together. I think I don't know if I found it that way. I may have had to, seems to me the cap was broken, so I put a new cap on it. I swapped a cap that I had, and but that nib I thought was really, really neat. There's something about seeing a big fat pen, whether it's a Senior Schaefer or whatever, with a little tiny point on a nib. Like it's like you see a 800-pound man with a falsetto voice. It doesn't make sense. There was once a Black Giant that we sold at an auction in Boston, and it had an accountant nib. So this huge chunk of gold went up and then started curving down and down and down, and kept on curving down and down and down. And it's like it used 20 times the amount of gold that it needed to. Well, you can't have sex, you might as well eat. In my little nib booklet I wrote and illustrated, I talked about that matching nibs with pens and how the Parker Black Giant was ill-suited with the nib, and I wrote a little limerick. Let's see if I can remember it. There once was a Parker Black Giant whose nib was elephantiant. Well, I have it written down somewhere. It was very, very funny. Large nibs. And so it's like that Schaefer, but imagine that Schaefer on steroids with a equally fine point. I mean, the nice thing about that Schaefer, I think I have, there was a video where I showed how I wrote with it, because it did have a slight flexible nib like accountant nibs that I have. It's not just firm and fine. It has just this little squeak of volume. Actually, how did Ian sent me? Ian, no, how else would Ian have spoke with me? Did he speak with me by here? No, he spoke with me by here. Ian. Ian K. Ian. Is it here? No. Thought you'd like that. Okay, ready? Gonna go grab some. Fuck. I did see that. No, it was a beautiful nib. Okay, Ian sent me the pictures of this book I'm talking about. Gmail, Ian. God damn it. So Ian sent me pictures of my nib booklet I made. And I'm trying to find how he sent it to me. Could he have sent it via Facebook? Could have done that. This is what drives me crazy. Come on, Ian K. Ian. Did you get your pens, Tasha? Two of the people I sent the pens to got the pens. I'm wondering if you got yours. Okay, I've looked under Ian. IANK. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll try this one again. Ian. Okay. 1, 27, 21. Okay, it's right here, Apple Google. Nib Study. How do I get these pictures to you? Do I forward this to you? Nib Study Peer. Use this app. So here's a book I wrote called Nib Study by Peer Gustafson. And here is the is this going to show up? There once was a Parker black giant whose point was most elephantiant. The something oh, his something was so small, he explained with a drawl, something, something. Oh, to shout, to something, something, to shout, I just can't. So I had to, Tasha, you would appreciate my attempt at Southern pronunciation. to shout, I just can't. I can't see because of the light. Let me see. I'm going to get more coffee, and I'm going to move the power from there to here. So with this camera here, it looks like you can see lots of detail, or I can see lots of detail. I don't know whether you can. I need to get more coffee, and then I'll invite you guys in if you want to. I can't see. I'm blinded. There's like a supernova. Is that what the sun normally looks like? I'd use it rather than the regular camera I have, but I can't aim the iPad down.
Morning.
I got this to work finally.
Good.
And I also what did I do? Why is it not going?
Just push sometimes it goes to sleep.
Well, I changed that so it will go to sleep in 4 hours rather than you don't have to type your password in. It is slow. Has it always been slow?
Yeah, and doesn't need preference updates or anything.
I've got a tech expert here that might know how to make it faster, but
Yeah, perfect.
But anyway. My brother's computer is very slow at oh, I'm sorry about your washing. Well, my brother's computer runs really slow. You click preferences and you don't know if you clicked it. And I'm using a mouse, so the mouse, I don't know really how mice work. Sorry, Mighty, I have no clue. How you click them. And there's two sides to a mouse, and I don't know what each side does. And then there's a ruler thing in the middle of it. I don't understand. I sent the first computer I got had a Wacom pen on it. Can't remember. So it's an iMac, yeah. And it's really slow. I don't know if he has lots of stuff on it, causing it to be slow. I know that he has a lot of real estate stuff, but I don't really know what applications, like other mice. Well, all of you people, if you haven't ever used a Wacom tablet, you don't need the fancy one with the screen on it, but if you just buy the cheapest Intuos thing, all of you people that use pens probably would feel way comfortable using an iMac. The thing, I mean, a Wacom tablet with your computer. The thing I love about it is, like, if I'm using a mouse and the cursor is in the lower left-hand corner and I want it at the upper right-hand corner, I have to move it, on a surface to make the cursor move, and sometimes it falls off the little pad that it's on, and sometimes I can't find the cursor, so I don't know which way to move it, and I realize this is a first world problem. But the nice thing about this pen, when you have it calibrated to your computer, if I put the pen on the lower left-hand corner, that's where the cursor is. Like, so it's there's a one-to-one correspondence that is really, really good.
Yeah, if you can get that guy to make it go quicker, that'd be great.
Installed. Okay. Is there a button I can press to show you what it looks like? What memory or what? Is there anything that about this Mac under stuff would it explain it to you without just quickly saying, "Oh my God, of course you have a problem because of blah." Meanwhile, the supernova continues. Let me look up about I cannot see. I'm looking this way right into the supernova. I need to wear sunglasses. Mac High Sierra, memory for blah blah, serial number. Can I hit software update? Would that help, or would that just make things crazy? System report, memory, storage. It's 2 memory slots, 2 are available. I see. Storage. Well, the storage is this big and it's using this much. That You just click down software update, see what it says, if anything. The little thing is going around, the little beach ball. App Store is opening. No, it's using only this much, and it has that much. So it's like it's 90% open. I'm reading it correctly. Security update. That's all it says here. Still checking for updates. I just installed Photoshop on it last night, so my thought is I'm not going to fuss with it. I'm going to do a lot of preliminary work with this client that's driving me crazy on my iPad. And then I'm going to eventually maybe do a watercolor and then scan it in. But I'm not going to actually do creating on the Photoshop, I don't think. Still checking for updates.
Here.
Oh. Okay, it only had one update available, which I'm not going to bother with. I have a Mad Trivet client, yes. What did you think of that brown Triumph nib, the striped brown one? Vex Technol. That was one you originally wanted. And it was not one of the ones you ended up checking. And you're not under any obligation to get it, but I'm just curious what you thought of it. That little striped grip section is sexy. Okay. Well, don't fuss with it. I really like the nib. I had two, and I was trying to figure out which one I wanted to sell, and I ended up. It was a tough choice, but I kept one that was slightly stubbier. Okay, the most recent one that I added. Yeah. Yeah, they're a rare pen, the big fat ones. I really like them. They're There's something that's so, I don't know what, beefy and masculine and loud. I mean, not their nib, but they just seem to demand attention. They're the person at the restaurant slamming his fist on the table and yelling waiter and snapping their fingers. The sun has now gone over the yard arm. It's now over the roof line, so I can look at my Wacom tablet without being blinded. So have any of you tried a Wacom tablet? I don't know. I guess if you're not a graphic designer, you'd have no reason to want them. Um, come to think of it. But even if you didn't ever use it to make a picture or do anything, just having a mouse that you can hold like a pen, I think is Have you ever used one though? FX Techno? It's just such an easier thing to hold in your hand than the bar of soap. Okay. Now, what you should do if you have one that she has that's old, she doesn't use, plug it into your computer and see if it makes, it'll take it, there's a learning curve. Although will. But try it out because you might find it just so much easier to keep track of your cursor. And you can, use these buttons, double click, and you've got undo eraser on the back. And there's ways to imitate some of the actions of all these side bits. But just the idea of being able to pick up the pen, put it down on the tab, and there your cursor is right there, right where you want it, rather than having to move the cursor from wherever it is. With this thing, it saves milliseconds a time you use it. And then you add up all of those milliseconds, and over a course of 50 years, you might save a minute of your life. Of course, then the reason this is red tape on it is so I can find it easier when I dropped it in my house. It's easier here because there's, as you can see, there's light through yonder window. No, I don't have the same black hole of existence as my house is in Boston. My brother's girlfriend's brother is staying here today with the dog. So it'll be interesting to see him. I haven't seen him for a couple of years. I mean, I haven't been home for a couple of years, but I haven't seen him. I've seen him like 3 times since I've known him. He's a big computer nerd guy too. So maybe I can have him help me here. Let me say hi to him and get more coffee. I'll be right back.
Trying to remember what you look like, and now it all comes into place.
Well, yeah, we could do that right now. My house doesn't have a washer and dryer right now, so. Do you need all of them down there? You got 2 loads or 1?
I think I got, well, we all 3 of these bins, one.
Yeah, let's do 1 load.
did. I was able to save it on your desktop, which means I didn't know if I could send it, save it up in the cloud somewhere and send it to your clients from that. So it's just, but anyway, if I need Illustrator, I can maybe just rent it for a month.
Okay, I have returned. Which place is the one house? I guess that's what I was talking about. Yeah, I don't remember even. I remember the photo that I showed you, but I don't remember I don't know the era. Where were those photos that I showed you? I wonder. Oh, I remember now.
Okay. Come on. What are you getting?
Well, I thought I was done down there. I loaded it up.
But you didn't start it.
No, you didn't show me how to start it.
Well, I know, that's what I said, I'd come back.
Audrey's brother is here, named Mark. He's watching their dog. So when Audrey goes to work a couple days a week, he comes over here and watches the dog. Yeah, the roof is really a lovely part of this place. Ceiling and roof. The yard is full of trees. The plot of land originally was a cornfield, and my father planted trees everywhere. So it's completely covered by trees right now. And if you walk out the house 10 feet that way, it's almost like the house disappears. I'll see if I can do a tour using my phone from the outside so you can sort of see if you're interested. Why is my iPad is at 5% and it's plugged in? It was at 30% when I plugged it in. So something's taking a lot of energy. This is at 9%. Schiavello were here. No, it was Saraj. Who said, "You have power cords, don't you?" Yes, I do, Saraj. I can't imitate that sing-songy element of the Indian language. Low battery, yes, I know
Can we
it's
go to the right? Mark. Let me show you, because this is how everybody's doing it. We go to this side. Because everybody's doing it that way. Well, I built it that we use that side, but everybody was using this side, which is totally fine. Doesn't matter.
okay. This is going down to 4% now. So this is what I'm going to do, people. I'm going to turn this one off. I'm going to turn this one off and plug it into a different pluggy thingy. Well, we've got our share of dirty curtains too. They're not so much dirty as they're just falling apart. The curtains over there are falling apart. So let me do this. I'm going to turn this off and I will sign on in 10 minutes. I'm going to let my phone build up some juice and see if I can maybe have all these devices build up some juice. I don't know when I go outside, I'm not entirely positive how good my Wi-Fi will be, but I know that my phone, because I'm on T-Mobile, that will give me power even if I walk out of the distance. But I'd like to show you the yard, which is another thing that if the house goes away, I'm going to miss a lot. So give me 20 minutes or so and see if I can figure this out. When I went to Indiana the first time to my ex-boyfriend's family house, I saw something there that I'd never seen before, and it's above the garage door. There's a little tiny bit of roof line that they added. It's like a David Niven's pencil mustache that had little, it was maybe 1.5 feet at the most, jutting out from the door, from the side of the house, and it had shingles on it. And it was weird because right above that was the actual house roof. So it was this extra little bit of stuff that I'd never seen here, and just 2 states away, or 3 or whatever it is, to Indiana, 2, they have these little pencil thin mustache things above their garage door. They don't seem at all functional. I mean, rainwater would have to come off the roof and then go like that. And then it doesn't protect you from the rain. If you're trying to lift up the garage door, your hands will be maybe protected, but your ass are going to get covered with water. So I don't get it. Explain it to me, you Midwesterners that are from the eastern side. The Fextonol will have an answer, maybe. I'll look forward to seeing it in a minute. Bye.